I greet you again, visitor, and welcome you to my YouTube channel. The only request I have of you is to watch 50 seconds, 1 minute of this video clip, and according to the title you will definitely appreciate this posted clip. In the clip presented today I will talk/explain about mosses, lower plants spread across the globe. Mosses or bryophytes, phylum Bryophyta, are non-vascular plants lacking a vascular system consisting of xylem and phloem, distributed throughout the globe, from humid and shady areas to sunny and arid areas. There are over 12,000 species of mosses, divided into 8 classes and 12 genera. All moss species possess rhizoids instead of roots. They also have no flowers, and for reproduction they produce spores, not seeds, as is the case with many plant species. Mosses have existed on Earth for millions of years, being some of the hardiest and oldest plant species. As a result, they can be found in a multitude of habitats: humid tropical forests, wetlands, wooded areas, alpine ecosystems, gardens, caves, urban areas. One thing all these environments have in common is humidity, which helps mussels survive. But it is not impossible to encounter mosses in sunny and dry areas. The occurrence of bryophytes can be influenced by the seasons. Mosses reach their peak development during the wet and cool season, when less intense sunlight and cooler temperatures help these plants grow. High temperatures and intense light during summer can cause mussels to dry out and enter a period of rest. The life cycle of mussels. Mosses are different from other plants in that they do not have roots and reproduce by spores. They show an alternation of 2 generations: the gametophyte, the actual mussel, and the sporophyte. The gametophyte has half the genetic material of the sporophyte and is formed when the sporophyte releases spores, which begin to divide. Sperm travel from one gametophyte to another through a thin layer of water to fertilize the eggs. Once fertilized, the eggs turn into a sporophyte, which then produces spores. The sporophyte depends on the gametophyte to survive, so the latter is the dominant generation, providing the sporophyte with the necessary water and nutrients. By germination, the spores form the protonema, a chain of cells that resembles a colony of algae or the prothallus of a fern. The protonema is formed in the early stages of the mussel's life cycle and prepares the ground for the formation of stalks, 1 or more stalks. Stems can develop leaves. The stems and leaves represent the gametophore, which combines with the protonema, despite its transient state, to form the gametophyte. The stems of the mussels. Generally, the stems of bryophytes are short and spindly. Their color varies from green to brown. They tend to be green when young because then their cells are rich in chlorophyll. But there are also exceptions to this rule, such as in the case of species in the Dawsoniaceae and Polytrichaceae families, where the stems are straight and hard. Since the stems of these species can reach 60 centimeters in height, they can be confused with herbaceous plants. Rhizoids. All species of mosses have rhizoids. These are not true roots, but they perform a similar role in that they provide the plant with a point of attachment and stability. However, rhizoids do not perform the function of absorbing water and nutrients. Rhizoids tend to be branched and are always multicellular. Rhizoids appear in the protonema stage. They develop at the base of the stems or even on the stems. Even though all moss species exhibit rhizoids, some species may have more than others. Moss leaves. Mussels can appear totally different in wet and dry conditions. Dry bryophytes have their leaves tight or wrapped around the stems, while wet ones have them fully unfolded and spread out. Most leaves are small, measuring from 0.5 millimeter to 3 millimeters in length. The leaves are attached directly to the stem, meaning they do not have a petiole. Most leaves are made up of a single layer of cells, which is why they are translucent. Often they are thickened along the central axis, this thickening being called a rib. What roles do mussels perform? Mosses perform important roles within ecosystems. For example, they are essential for the survival of insects and other invertebrates, for which they provide habitats and a food source. Mosses filter and retain water, prevent soil erosion, and absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Bryophytes have also penetrated the everyday life of man, being used for packing some food, for insulating homes, or for making floral arrangements. They were also used as fuels, in the form of peat produced by the partial decomposition of some moss species, such as sphagnum.